What's up, YouTube? JR Juggernaut 1 here. First off, I apologize for the delay in vids. I lost my camera for a little while, and I recently found it, so I was going to get another video up. I have an old video from a few weeks ago that I want to get up regarding my regional report from the November 11th Stratford, Connecticut regional, so I will get that up. The deck I used, you'll be pretty surprised by what you see, but it's a pretty old deck profile, so I'm just going to, rather than redo the video, I'm just going to post it. But I wanted to post it right as I post this up as well, which is a deck profile of my updated Trooper Agent deck, as I'm going to just call it. I took this to a Blood Mefist tournament today, and I made top 8. It was like a 40-person tournament, and even though top 8 didn't get anything, I was still pretty happy. I came in 8th place in Swiss. I went 4-2, so I was pretty happy with that. Deck worked out pretty well. I think there were just some, I wish I'd played out certain situations a bit differently. Like, I did misplay a bit, but I recognize that, and I plan to correct myself in the future to avoid these misplays. But yeah, overall the deck worked out well. I was just a little surprised that I lost in top 8 to Chaos Dragons, which is supposed to be one of, and Agents are supposed to be like their worst matchup, so there you go. But yeah, let's get to the deck. While I'm at it. It's not that much different from the original Agent build I posted. I just kind of mentioned that I wanted to make room for Tour Guide, and I ended up doing that since then. So 2 Earth, 3 Venus, standard, 3 Shine Ball, standard Agent stuff. I only played 2 Herald of Orange Light. I honestly do not like this card at 3 anymore. I find myself that I really like it, but I don't like the fact that it's a -1, and even as effective as it can be against decks like Windups, there are many matchups where I found myself siding it out, and I just felt it was better to make room for cards that by themselves are more effective. So, of course, I still play the triple Hyperion. I still play the triple Hyperion, one of the best cards in the deck by far. Double Christia. Same thing, basically. I was contemplating cutting this to 1, but I went too many games with it. It's just such a game-breaking card that I felt a need to play 2. Double Trooper, of course, one of my favorite cards in this deck. It does so much. Only 2 Thunder King, which I was only running 2 to begin with, but I'm still convinced that I would rather only play 2 of this card. I'll admit in certain matchups I really want the 3rd, but most of the time I think 2 is best. 2 Tour Guides and Sangan. Pretty straightforward. I just think they add consistency to the deck. Really. Double Trag. For some reason I can't find a second one. I borrowed 2 Trags for 2 Ultras for the event. This card is, I really do like it. I do want to test it out more. I barely drew it today, but every time I did draw it, it was very useful. Honest. And, of course, since I'm playing Lights and Darks, I play BLS. Too freaking good. When I'm running the Trags, it's live a lot more. And because I'm playing Trag, I just feel like I have to play BLS in that case. So, yeah. Spells. Spell lineup actually hasn't changed at all. It's still the 3 staples, 2 MST, and double Lance. I really do think Lance is amazing in Agents, and I was telling a few people today why I think that's the case. Just the ability to protect your monster can be so huge, especially when you're using it to protect a Christie or Hyperion. The trap lineup, Judgment, Double Warning. Some people have talked about cutting Judgment from Agents. I'm still undecided, but to be honest, based just going off of my experience today, I wouldn't cut it, because when I did use it, it won me games. So, like, a well-timed Judgment does seal the game for you, even if you don't like paying half your life points. A double Torrential, and of course, the triple Call. So yeah, I took out the Deep Prisons because I don't think they're as good as I thought main decked, and I'd rather play cards that try to make the deck more consistent. If you open with a bunch of back row, you really are in a tough spot. 8 traps is really all you need here. Let's go to the extra deck. Gotchi, Daigusto Phoenix. Yeah, and yes, only 1 Gotchi. I could have made a second potentially at times, but honestly, it rarely ever happens, and I wanted to play as many extra deck monsters as I could. Dark Mist, this card's amazing. Levier, Zenmaines, Leviathan, Tempo. He's the only rank 3 I never brought out today, but at the same time, I feel like you have to play him. It's just so good. And my last Exceed was Maestroke because I was playing Utopia I was playing Trugodia, and I thought that I should play at least one rank 4 for the heck of it. Might take it out though. I never ended up making this all day. Might just put in chimeratech. For the Synchros, Armory Arm, Cataster, Wyvern, Black Rose, Stardust, Scrap, and the Swarm. The Stardust and Scrap you don't make nearly as often as your other monsters, but just the option for level 8 can be huge because when you have Earth, Venus, and a bunch of Shine Balls, you can basically go into any one of these Synchros, and just to have that option is huge. Now for the side deck. Double Sidra. This was originally going to be Banisher, but I thought, I kind of wanted a strong monster I could summon that's just a good standalone card rather than Banisher. Double Raikou. I've explained this before. I love Raikou on the side. It's great against Chaos Dragons, and it's just great against any deck where you really need the defensive edge. So I really like that. Double Max C. Unlike last time, I actually think this was a good idea to side because I was playing Tragodias in the main. So that was definitely a good call this time around. One MST, the third MST obviously. Double Soul Taker. Mirror Match, Chaos Dragons, it's really a necessary card. For the rest of our traps, Double Soul Drain. Mermails and Dark World are a pain. It's really the only reason why I played this over Shadow Mirror. Otherwise, I would have just played Shadow Mirror, and oddly enough, I ended up playing an Exector match today, and I had nothing for it. But I still ended up pulling out a victory in the end somehow. I don't know. Double Gozen, because against decks like Windups and Rabbit, you really want this card. And finally, Double Deprison, because against slower decks like Heroes and even Chaos Dragons, I find I like having this end because they don't have that much back row removal, and against most of their deck, it's very effective. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I might have some updates regarding the future of this channel. There's I'm pretty sure depending on whether or not, depending on how things unfold in the next week or two, the channel might actually go through drastic changes. So I'll keep you guys updated. Hope you enjoy the vid, and I'll see you next time.